Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to RSF1's F4 division. Coming to you live round number 8, I believe it is, in the season now. It's the Grand Prix of Azerbaijan, Baku City Circuit. And this could be an interesting one. We have a very close championship on our hands, very competitive, as all the tiers are in RSF1. But this one, I still can't call it, really. In other tiers, there's maybe a particular person that has got a lead. In this one, it's still very, very close. We're still very early days. Still plenty of time for the chasing pack to make their mark. I am RSF1 waiter. I'm by myself tonight, but we should be fine. Once again, the viewers will probably help me out when we get going. We are just in the lobby waiting to go. So I have a few minutes just to get you settled in and ready for this. Yeah, we've had some interesting races this week. We've had mixed conditions in F2, rained in like the last 2-3 laps of the race. F3, on Monday we had one of the closest finish in RSF1 history, 0.031 between first and second place. That also had a debut winner in their very first race in that one. That was good. F5, we had safety cars, I think, a late safety car as well. A real mix-up of results there. Then we had F1 yesterday. It was a very good race, very clean, professional, and yeah, it was pretty good as well. So what is F4 going to bring? A mixture of above, possibly, could be the question. We are waiting for a couple of minutes because we are waiting on a couple of people to join on. We are going to have a slightly diminished grid tonight as well. So it should be around 17-18 that should be racing tonight, and we're just getting everything sorted to make sure everything is okay. So what can I talk about? So last week's race in Monaco, that was a very interesting Grand Prix. I'll just get the stream up at the same time so I can have any questions and queries from people. But yeah, very interesting Grand Prix. It was all about the strategy and keeping your wing intact. We had two people that went on tyres that really shouldn't have gone on for that long. I think it was like mid-20, 30 lap on the hard tyres. They managed to get some really good results out of it. And but at the front, it was very lovely managed from Dufferlump, who has now won 2 races in a row in that Racing Point since he has joined F4. Obviously used to be in F3. So yeah, he's really taken to this championship. He's looking pretty good right at the moment. He's the man in form going into this. But how long can he keep it up is the big question. RS Prost, our current championship leader, and obviously I'll go over the standings in a minute. Prost, championship leader, also had a good result. Continue his strong form. He was also in F3. He's now in F4. Primus picked up his first podium as well since... where was his first podium? I think it was round number 2 in Bahrain. So he had a good result there as well. As I said, 40 and Fish Sticks did brilliantly in doing a lot of long tyre life on their hard tyres. Managed to end up 4th and 5th respectively. Pole position last time out also went to Duffer. So again, Duffer is in good form. But as you guys all know, you can be on top of the world in terms of form and happy where you are. But all it takes is one result and you're back to square one, back to ground earth. Yeah, I think we're just about ready to go. Yes, we are. So everyone's readying up. We have 17 here today. No Ferraris, which, when I read out the standings, that's going to be a very significant thing because they have not had the best of luck in this tier, it is safe to say, and no drivers tonight for them. A couple more absentees as well, but we are set, ready to go. What are we going to have in qualifying? Can we have some rain? Possibly. That'd be interesting. Because rain around here does throw it around. So here is the Azerbaijan circuit. Street circuit, very fast. Obviously, we were at a street circuit last week in Monaco. Monaco's tight and twisty, and it's very short. This is a lot longer, a lot faster, a lot more chances of overtaking as well. Should see a lot more overtaking this time out. A lot of action as well. Safety cars are very likely at this track because it's the nature of this track. Then a lot of corners here which you've got to get right, including the infamous castle section, which everybody, whenever they think of Baku, they think castle section, basically. And I'll hint at what the castles, show you, what the castle section is as we go on their lap. But we're just loading up now, going into this. So here we go. I get started to get a drink. Good evening, Source. RSF1 Source now. Used to be Slipping Source. Changed his gamer tag, so he has joined the ever-growing affiliate, I guess, is that? When you put a tag, like a clan tag in front of your name. Yeah, he's joined the ever-growing community of that, so thank you for that, Source. So don't think I'm going to get out Q3, but I'm not too mad about it as not fast around here. Well, see how you get on, Source, as you now known. So who's going to be the first out? Let us see. I hear an engine. Is that a Williams? I think it is. It's the Williams Unicorn Hunter, who is having, I believe, his first time out, proper, full-time, in the Williams seat. So, welcome to Williams. Me being a Williams driver in F2. Hopefully he does well. He's been joined by Primus directly behind. There he is in the racing point. So Q1 gets underway. We are looking for the top 15 drivers in this session. There are no qualifying bans or race bans to report, so everyone should be going out 100%. Or I say 100%. Those that are normally at the top end of qualifying, the Prosts, the Eagles, the who else is normally out there? Duffalum, 4D, Monster Skyline as well. This session really, you just need to set a lap time. Don't need to go 100% around here in Q1 because it's very easy to crash, and obviously if you crash, you do not take any further part in the session, even if your time goes through. That's what these guys are going to be aware about as they go around this track. So all 17 here today. Any other name changes? Nope. So Primus Game is going to be the first to set a lap, and we'll take a ride on board with him in the racing point. Of course, the driver helmet that he's wearing has, I think it's the Re-Racers one, rainbow on the top of it. Very nice, as goes down the very long main straight. Having an up DRS to see what speed he gets to by the end of the straight before turn 1. It's 209 miles an hour as he heads down into turn 1. Brakes for 90-degree left-hander. Don't want the car too far wide. Turn 2 is another 90-degree left-hander. It's all 90-degree corners in this first sector. Now onto the back straight, open up a DRS, not using hot lap is noted from Primus, so just going to, it's going to lap in. I took a slightly deep through turn 3, and again through turn 4. The car does not want to turn, either that or late braking from Primus. Turn 5, and then turn 6, chicane, don't run over too much on the curb on the right hand side. And then turn 7. Obviously don't cut the inside curb too much, he does, but keeps it valid. And then the castle section, how committed is he going to be? I think, yeah, slightly cautious through there, but as I said, Q1, you don't fly through castle through Q1. It's the general kind of tip, you've got to leave a little bit on there. And then on this curved back straight, and it's a very difficult downhill left-hand, and there's a bump right as you go over. Can jump over those curbs on the left-hand side there, but it's very dangerous to do so because it'll chuck you into the wall on the right-hand side. And then left-hander who's just gone through. You got to get a good exit and then swing the car through the final 2 corners. And those corners can be deceptive, actually, those two corners there, left and right on the straight. If you're in dirty air, or if it's raining, you need to be cautious. A 140.3 from Primus sets a lap, but I think there's a little bit more time in there, but a decent banker lap nonetheless. So we've got a Williams of Unicorn of 41.9 from him, and then the Red Bull of Source, who I think has broken his front wing on his first lap, so he's back in. His teammate though, Fish Sticks, is just about to finish a lap. Goes down the front straight, just enough ERS left, and that's what you've got to make sure. You need to have enough ERS on this very long straight. And he sets a 41.8 just ahead of Unicorn, so Primus's 40.3 is standing up pretty well so far, but only a few times have been set. Then he's invalidated on his lap. And then we got Barry. In the Avatari. Just coming through now. So, see what he can do as he crosses the line. It's going to be in the 40s again. 40.8 from Barry. Puts himself second for now. And then we got Charismic is back into the pits. And then there's a McLaren of... Here comes Button in the papaya orange McLaren. Matching the driver helmet as well. As again, 40.5. So Primus... looking good, but let's see what our championship leader Eagle can possibly do, and even Duffeldump doing well so far. Vinny and Mercedes bumping over those curves. Again, you don't want to use those curves too much. Through that chicane. It's turned in nicely. Not through Castle has committed. Is he going to throw it in there? Yeah, pretty good. On the exit, carry the speed as much as you can. There's yellow flags on the main straight, but I think that's Primus just slowly going in, but that's fine. He's just on a in lap into the pits. Into the final corner for Graded Vinny. Purple set to 2, so we'll keep on board with this. Again, through the left and the right, keep it straight as possible, little movements. Yeah, Primus did get a bit of a slide through there, so... And that was a little bit more stable from Vinny. So this might compete for the top. And... no, it's not. 40.4. Goes second, though. And I think that might be safe from him. So who's on a lap now? Duffeldump is about to set a lap. Our winner from last time out and the week before in Spain. Can he continue on the momentum that he has? He's now third place in the championship because of those 2 wins. He is only 11 points behind our current leader Prost. So as I said, and a good result here tonight, he could take the championship lead. He is very capable of doing so. Leaves nothing on the table on that next to that wall through turn 3. So really committed through there. Even this early stage of qualifying. 95.5 first sector. Slightly cautious through that chicane, I've got to be saying. It wasn't on the power as early as yes, other times you can go through there. See how he takes Castle. Yeah, I feel like this is like a 90% on it lap, I think, from Duffer. See, as I said, that's all you need to do really in this session. As we've got just under 10 minutes to go, we've only had 6 times on the board so far. But yeah, Duffer looks to be taking it quite easy on this lap. S1 keeps it safe. We'll go through. Let's see. Can do. They've got a runner behind him of Old Manzi. See where he goes. 40.4 from Duffer. Manzi goes 6th on a 41.0. Puts him safe for now. But again, still plenty of times to go forward as Kazi in the Haas Gets a 40.6. And I think gave his teammate Charismic a little bit of a slipstream there, so good teamwork there. Which we haven't seen actually a lot of that, but Charismic very sideways out through turn 2. Got a kick of traction there. Right, let's see what Eagle can do. So Eagle, last time out, got 6th place, which is a decent result around Monaco. I mean, many people would take that. But he did lose points on his championship rival, his own teammate, Prost. 7 points behind Prost he is. Going into this race, as Button has just topped the session on a 40.1. So Button, and that's 3 laps on the soft tyres, so he's just managing to get his eye in there, but let's see what Eagle can do. He's normally quite good in qualifying. So let's see, can he get back up to the top? He can, a 39.992. First guy in the 39s, and only just in the 39s, but he's a couple of tenths ahead of Button there. So good lap there from Eagle. So next is got a Racing Point going slowly, but I think that's Duffer on his way in. So Charismic is finishing a lap, but he's already got damage on the right-hand side, so that's going to compromise in this whole lap. And in fact, I think he is on a slow lap. It's 127 in the final corner, so that's not going to work out for him. As Raikkonen goes a little bit wide there, and there's a... Is that where his front wing is? No, that's someone else's. Who's ahead of him? Front wing just landed right in front of where Raikkonen is, but his is okay, so I don't know where that was from. Skyline, 15.8, middle sector, purple sector 2. Had a decent run of form up until Monaco. He's got second in Spain the week before, but Monaco was only 10th place. So he wants to be back up near the front, I'm pretty certain. And let's see, is he going to be in the 39s? 39.999, 7 thousandths slower than Eagle. So good lap from Skyline. Raikkonen has dropped it on the front straight there. That's really unfortunate. Let's see if we can see him on board a 40. I don't think we're going to catch him in time, but Raikkonen's not going to be happy with that whatsoever. Primus has also retired, but he's in the pits, so that is very unfortunate for Raikkonen. Yeah, we're not going to see it. Crashed right about this point here, just to that right-hander, which is very easy to do. But yeah, at least he's got the race ahead to keep going. Here we are, championship leader, RS Prost, who is coming onto this curved to the straight at the end of the lap now. Whoa! Nearly chucks it into the wall there. In that corner. That could have ended pretty sharpish, but let's see, 16.2. Slower than Eagle at the moment, but again, I think like Duffer, I think there's a little bit left in this lap, potentially. Just want to see himself go through, opening up DRS. Let's see, probably in the 39s. It's low 40, 40.3. Just behind Primus, goes 6th. RSF1 Source has gone 7th in the Red Bull. Missed that Source, sorry about that. He's 7th from him. Once the Skyline goes quicker on a 39.8. So these guys getting some more practice in potentially for Q3 or even Q2. So Primus looking good, just gone a 10th quicker than Eagle. Let's see what 40 can do. 40, 4th place last time out of Monaco. Get some decent points so far. He's on 30 going into this. Purple sector 2. Let's see who else is on the lap. You've got Charismic on an out lap. Dips is yet to venture out at the moment. Leaving it quite late. There's an interesting tactic. 40 goes 5th on a 40.3. Joins Primus and Prost on that time, and Source. So that should see him through. Chrismick is about to begin a lap. Who else is on one? We've got Manzi and Barry, who are slightly under pressure. They're on laps as well. Or just about to begin their laps. Right, as they do so, I'll just run through the championship as it stands. So RS Prost leads the way on 74 points. He has a 7-point lead over his teammate RSF1 Eagle. Duffer, who has leapt up the championship since he's joined, obviously with those 2 wins, he's on 63 points. Then Primus Gaming, he's on 4th place with 48. He is a point ahead of Fish Sticks and the Red Bull on 47. Kazi on 46 and Chrismick 45, so very close there. Also you got Skyline on 43. Button is a further 2 points back on 41. Then you got Dips on 38. 4D is on 30. Old Manzi on 20. Graded Vinny on 7. And then Unicorn Hunter on 1 point. The rest are yet to score. As for the constructors, because of the win of Duffer in the 3rd place from Primus, Racing Point extend their lead at the top. They're on 170 points. Alfa Romeo 2nd on 145. Then it's Mercedes 3rd on 104. Haas on next on 93 and McLaren on 77. Then Red Bull just ahead of Williams. Red Bull 47, Williams 43. Renault on 20, AlphaTauri on 8 points. And Ferrari yet to score as Charismic tops the session. 39.6, 0.2 quicker than Monster Skyline. Very good lap for Mike Charismic. Had a decent start to the championship, I think. As I said, 45 points going into this. Hasn't really qualified well, if that's fair enough to say. Yeah, I'll be very, very happy with that. That'll easily through. Sorry about that. My sound just went for a second. Hopefully it's alright. People watching the stream, there's only 8 at the moment, which I hope that bumps up a little bit by the race starts. But people watching the stream, is it okay from your end? Can you hear everything, see everything fine? I mean, it looks fine for me, but so obviously if there are any issues, please let me know. Let's see. Oh, Unicorn very deep in the chicane, and that's damage, I'm afraid. Or Unicorn Hunter, so he's going to be struggling. He's got heavy damage, left and right side. So Unicorn is in very big pressure from DPS, actually. DPS is the only one that can get past him. Or knock him out the session. Manti's gone 5th in the meantime in the Renault. On a 40.2, so that's a very good lap from him. So let's see what DPS or Dips can do. Because sometimes he races under the CCRL Dips account, but he's got DPS racing this week. Left it very late, so a bit of a pressure on for DPS. So it's an interesting tactic. 30 seconds to go. This is going to be his one and only lap. He turns through turn 3, nicely done. And into turn 4, can use the curb. Don't run the car too far wide. Slightly deep through turn 5, but it's okay because the line kind of gets him through turn 6 into turn 7. Car a little bit sideways as he gets under power, and then into through castle. Slightly too far on the inside of the right, but okay. Nicely done. He needs to beat a 41.9 because Unicorn is in the pits now. So really it's a straight fight between DPS and Unicorn Hunter to find out which the two go through, because Raikkonen, I'm afraid, is already gone. 16.2 middle sector, which is, I think it's a second slower than the top, but he just needs to beat that 41. Everyone else is finished, I believe. He just got Source and Old Manzi, so it's just this McLaren of DPS to finish. And is he going to make himself go through? He does. A 40.4 knocks the Williams of Unicorn Hunter out, as well as the AlphaTauri of Raikkonen. So There we go. Source and Old Manzi back into the pit lane. Right, so I had specific constructions from Raikkonen saying to me if he gets eliminated from Q1, don't invite him because he will not be very happy about it. So I will heed those words and I won't invite him. Let's speak to Unicorn Hunter, see whether he joins. Yeah, interesting so far. Looks competitive at the top. Yeah, looked pretty solid there, Source, actually. 10th place, I think, in the end. So, yeah, decent lap time, considering you don't like the track. So, there we go. There's the two eliminated. Unicorn Hunter and Williams and Raikkonen, unfortunately, crashing on the main straight in 17th. But still, the race to go and plenty of opportunity to move forward for the pair of them there. Chris Smith top in the session by just over a 10th. Monster Skyline. Then you got Eagle, Button, Manzi, Duffer. Usual suspects near the top. Question is, did they hold anything back? Definitely riding on board with Duffer. I think there's a few more tenths in there. Same with Prost. But we'll see. They're all done step 1 of qualifying, which is get through to Q2. Right. Here we go. Slightly clouded over a little bit. This Q1 was definitely sunny. So this is where strategy is going to come into play. And around Baku is quite interesting. There's been a variation of strategies this week. I've always been led to believe that the best strategy, or the safest, is medium to hard tyres. However, people being on those hard tyres, they are not that good, and I can vouch for that as well. It's a bit like Monaco. You don't want to be on the hard tyres unless you ideally want to. But the big thing about round here is track positioning in at the end of Q2. You don't want to be starting outside the top 10 unless you can help it. As Unicorn Hunter has just left the session, bear with me, guys. Gotta get him back in. Alright, there we go. So yeah, medium to hard's probably the easiest and safest strategy really to do. Can do softs to hards, and we did see softs to mediums from F1 from the winner. But you got to be very good on your tyre wear, and that's the thing around here. Plus, with the possibility of safety cars, you've always got to take that into account. But my biggest thing is, again, you want to get through to that top 10. And if that means going on softs to do so, then do it, basically. This is not one of those tracks where other tracks like, say, France, which we're going to go to in a couple of weeks, you can maybe get away with that because it's a lot more open and it's safer to overtake. This low, with how narrow the track is, you don't want to be in that section of a grid through turn 1 and 2 on the first lap. It's very, very dangerous. You can easily get through there clean, but it's asking for trouble potentially if you're back there and not used to it. Let's see what people do. In fact, there's a lot of people trying it on the medium tyres. In fact, only 3, and that is Duffer, 40 and Vinny, but they're all in the pits at the moment, waiting to see what to do. Everyone else who is about to start a lap is on medium tyres. So, very interesting stuff from there. Primus, again, is going to be the first to set a lap. He's eager to go out. Always does this in qualifying, I notice. Always tends to go out first. Maybe he knows. Maybe he knows I'm going to be on the first car that comes out of the session. So, see how he takes it. And obviously, in these medium tyres, obviously, not going to have as much grip as the softs. That's what these guys are going to bear in mind. As he turns it in through turn 7. Once again, probably won't be flying through Castle as committed as, say, Q3. Q3, oh! He has hit the wall. He had damage. I think he does. Yeah, I think he does on the right-hand side, and that's going to compromise his lap on mediums. It's not going to help, because ideally you just want to do one lap on these. So be rethinking his strategy a little bit. Yeah, he's backed out of his lap. So be rethinking strategy for Primus there. See how he gets on. Who was next? Charismic is about to start a lap. Frost is finishing as well. There's an AlphaTauri of Barry. So Barry's going to be the first one. So really, this is a competition on the medium tyres to beat each other to get into that top 10. And then it's the question of those outside the top 10 or in danger. Do they then change strategy? Let's see, as Barry probably going to be in the 40s. Or the 41s here on those mediums. So 41-1 for Barry. Let's see how that shapes up. As we have a McLaren just coming down the straight. That is DPS. Yellow flag middle sector, but it's just a slow car. Letting others go through. As DPS gets in 2 tenths behind Barry. Let's see how that gets on. Mandy's about to begin a lap as well. 4D is out on the softs, but is that going to be... Is that a fake lap? Because I know what people do sometimes. Is do a slow lap purposely on the soft, so they have like a delta later on in the session. I'm surprised to see not many people doing that actually. Normally more than this. Still only the 2 times set so far. Eagle's about to finish a lap. Where does he go? 41.8 from Eagle, and that's slightly slower than the 2 in front of him. 42.0 from Prost. So both Alfa Romeos slightly struggling on those laps there. Button has gone third, a 41.5. Who's next? There's a Haas coming along of Charismic. So Charismic, yeah, Charismic has mended his front wing, come back out, and is going to set a 41.4. So just right up there near the top. Yeah, must have been very happy with that Q1 lap. See who's next. Vistic's invalidated, so he's not going to... Here comes old Mandy in the Renault. Had a roller coaster of a season so far already, and only 8 races in. Had a roller coaster so far. Picked up 3rd place. And where was that 3rd place? That was in Spain. Had a very good result. Sets a 42.8. Be looking on improvement, I think, from that. But yeah, 9th place. Well, no, didn't get 9th place. He got no points last time out. So yeah, been very unlucky, old Manzi. Hopefully his luck comes his way. As 4D on the soft tyres, he's actually followed through on that strategy on the softs. 140.0. So that's a pretty decent time, actually. On the softs. Yeah, I think that is, actually. Because we were in the 39s. Eagle's done 2 laps on his mediums and improved to a 41.1. Gets close to Barry's time, who's currently fastest of the medium runners so far. Duffer 41.3. Kazi goes to 8th on a 41.8. The time's coming in. Frost is on a slow lap on the mediums, then going on another fast one. An interesting strategy. So, quite a few trying to make these mediums work by doing multiple laps on them. Interesting to see. Monster Skyline's got a bit of traffic, but shouldn't get in his way there. Sliding through the edge of turn 3. Barry already, who is currently 2nd, is already preparing himself for softs, just in case a lot of people do so. So you don't want to be caught out. I don't know, Verstappen. Don't know where all the viewers are. It says 11 on mine. Normally more than that, but normally bumps up by the race, so I'm not too concerned. It's a little bit of a worry, but sure it's alright. As, whoa, Source, big slide out of the top of castle there. Oh, and another one. Oh, and he's in the wall. Oh, very lucky boy. Very lucky boy to have all 4 tyres, actually. He's got time, though, to get back in the pits, so could have been far, far worse. The Primus getting a nice cheeky slipstream from the Alpha in front of Eagle. And goes 42.3 there on the medium tyres, so be looking to improve from that. DPS retires. 5th on the 41.3. I think that might be safe. Right, Source is back in, so Manzi's on the slow lap into the pits. So who's going to be next? I don't think there's anybody on a fastish lap. I think they're just on their way into the pit lane. See how Primus whether he's going again. There was a slower lap than expected on there. Nah, again, first sector is down, so everyone's back in the pits. Everyone to take a little bit of a breather. Duffer might be going on us. That'll be a 3rd lap if he can finish this off. Big slide out of castle. Fighting the car. Prost has actually gone 2nd into the 40s on the medium tyres there, so good lap from Prost. I'll set a soft Source. Okay, that makes sense. Well, I saw you slide twice and then into the wall again. Very lucky you're still got all 4 tyres there. Yeah, Prost looking good on that time now on the medium tyres. That could be safe for the next session. Let's see what Duffer can do. 40.9 gets within touching distance of Prost there. So, again, Prost and Duffer should see them going through. Right, so what are people going to do? Vinny and Source yet to set a lap. Vinny going out on softs. Source on mediums. Okay. And who's under pressure? Got Manzi in 13, Fishsticks in 12th, just heading back into the pits now. Primus 11th, then you got Kazi button down in 9th for Charismic. DPS might be under a little bit of pressure there. In 7th, having already retired, so his fate is out of his hands at the moment because he can't react to it. Let's see, so Fishsticks is back in. Rated Vinny, right, let's see what Vinny can do. And yet to set a lap, so again, leaving it quite late. 3.5 minutes. He's probably got enough to go for another lap if he wants to, if he has enough fuel. Let's see, turn 7. Nicely done. Through castle, nicely controlled through there. Nice the car through the 2 corners at the top of castle, so very nice with that section. And down to turn 12, I believe it is. Difficult braking zone. Ooh, locked up and grazed the wall. Don't think there was any damage sustained, but he was finding it very close. I wonder if he can join his teammate in the 40s. Or maybe he can dip into the 39s. He's definitely thinking about, he just wants to get through into Q3, needs to be in that top 10. Well, let's see, yeah, everyone else who is in danger is on soft tyres. The only one that isn't is Source and Manzi. Is 39.7 from Graded Vinny. Puts himself top of the session so far, so let's see, everyone else is on outlaps. Chrismic is on a lap. Let's see, I think he needs to get a few more attempts out of his. Barry doesn't feel safe. He is currently 5th on an outlap. Chrismic gets on. Castle started to turn out of the middle part of castle, which wouldn't have helped him. Let's see, a minute 42 left. Primus is starting his lap. And they're all on softs. Yeah, so the Prost, Duffer, Skyline, Eagle do not feel safe because they realise everyone else behind them is on soft tyres. And are going to go a lot quicker. So we might see a couple of surprises here. Yellow flags middle sector. There's a big queue in that middle sector actually trying to get space. 39.7 from Krizmic. Just ahead of Vinny. But it's Eagle 8th, Skyline 7th. Source has gone 12th on the mediums. I don't think that's going to be quick enough, or it isn't. And he now, I think he's going on another lap. Everyone else is on soft, so big pressure. DPS is down to 9th at the moment. It's clouded over very quickly, actually, in this qualifier. I don't think there's any rain due. It definitely looks very dark. 1.3 seconds up from Button, so he's looking on a good lap so far as well. I think Kazi has gone slightly quicker. And it wasn't Kazi. Old Manzi tried to go through on medium tyres. Not enough. Button's going to put himself third. So that puts DPS now on the bubble on 10th place. Primus on the racing point. Time is up. And he goes second on a 39.7 as well. There we go. Primus puts himself through. Knocks DPS and the McLaren is out. So now we've got Fish Sticks, got Source and Manti, I think, are done. It's just Fish Sticks and Kazi, I think. Although, yeah, Source says invalidated, so he is done. Manti's slow as well, on a slow lap, sorry. Right, so Kazi's going to be next. Can he lift himself up into the top 10? Goes 6th on a 40.2. So, Fish Sticks is going to be next, I think. There's the Haas as well of Krizmic. I think it's just gone into the pits. So, Fish Sticks goes 6th. We need to be looking at Skyline and Eagle, and what's happened to Eagle? Eagle's invalidated. There was a big cluster of cars in the middle sector, and I think he's got... I don't know whether he's got caught up in it, but there's damage on his... heavy damage on his right-hand side, so he's in big trouble. Well, he's out of qualifying, actually. He will not be able to improve. Can Skyline move himself up? Yeah, it looks easy. 39.6 when Skyline puts himself through. That puts... oh, Barry's got damage as well, so maybe something did happen there. Middle sector, they're all very close to one another. Yeah, it means Barry is out, Eagle's out in the Alfa Romeo, which is a big surprise. DPS 13th, Manzi 14th in the Renault, and then Source in the Red Bull 15th. And in the end, did anybody get through on mediums? Prost and Duffer did. 40.9 on medium tyres, scraped through to the next session. They were on laps on soft, so I think they were able to react just in case they were eliminated, but I have a little theory that Barry and Eagle might have got caught up in something because they both have damage, and there was a cluster of cars in the middle sector. Unfortunately, I missed, so I'm assuming it could be individual mistakes, but that is definitely a surprise for the pair of them. They both had the pace to go through, and they've got to consider where they're starting from outside the top 10. Right, so there is Q2 done and dusted. Skyline tops the session in the Williams. Definitely got very dark towards the end of that. So there's the end of Q2. So eliminated Barry in the AlphaTauri, Eagle in the Alfa Romeo, DPS in the McLaren, Old Manzi in the Renault, and Source in the Red Bull. Let's see who I invite. See if Barry wants a word. There's, yeah, Prost and Duffalump on the medium tyres. It'll be interesting to see where they qualify, because that could be very key in the race and their strategy. Monster Skyline just ahead of Charismic and Primus up there, third place in the racing points. A very competitive pole position. As we head into Q3 and still very overcast conditions. Let's see who can take pole position around here. It's going to be very crucial this session for a lot of drivers. They don't want to be at the lower end of top 10. Again, that's where you're in the danger zone of the grid. Let's see who's going to be first out. There's a Red Bull, but gets beaten by a Haas. It's not going to be Primus first out. It is going to be iCharismic. It's going to set the very first lap, and it has definitely gotten very dark at the end of this session. It was blazing sunshine in Q1. In Q2, it's gone very, very dark. They're not all rushing out of the pit, so I don't think rain is due. And there we go. So let's see. Anybody in the chat want to give a prediction for pole? I'd say personally my theory will be, I'll probably say Duff, actually. Very tough. I mean Duffer is obviously, as I said, he's got pole position last time out in Monaco. So safe bet would probably be him. I'd say Charismic, actually, the one we're on board with. Don't think he's had a pole position this season. As I said, his qualifying hasn't really come together so far. Let's see if it can. And again, this session, this is where you leave nothing on the table. Although maybe your first lap, maybe bank a lap, maybe leave a few temps, just so you got something on the board to work with. Let's see how iCharismic gets on in the Haas. So in this session, we've got 2 racing points, 2 Mercedes, 2 Haas drivers, 1 Alfa Romeo, 1 Williams, 1 McLaren, and 1 Red Bull. As Charismic turns it into turn 1, had to turn out there. I think he turned in a little bit too earlier than what he normally does. Had to turn initially out of it. Nicely through turn 2 though. There's, oh, racing point, Duffalump. Duffalump crashed it through Castle. And he's spin it, crashed it. He's got damage, so first lap is going to be off for Duffalump. It's not what you need. They've got plenty of time though, and I guess fortunate to be still going again as Charismic slightly deep into through the chicane. And up through turn 7, you can see the lights of the buildings now, very strong. These conditions get very dark through Castle. At least they won't have the sunlight through this part. Nicely through that. Let's see, we might see a few more mistakes through Castle, because again, this is where you got to chuck it through if you want to be on the front row, at least front 2 rows, I think. 15.5 from Charismic, that's a solid middle sector. On the Mercedes letting their teammate through. Middle sectors, Charismic threads the car through the final 2 corners. He's got nothing left to do and just hope that it's enough. Opening up DRS, 210 miles an hour, and sets a 39.6. That's right up near the top of the times we've seen so far. Primus of 40.2, and Red Bull of Fish Sticks 41.2. Alfa Romeo Prost 40.2, just behind Primus, 4 thousandths actually. So, and then the Mercedes of Vinny, 43.3. So slow that from Vinny. A few mistakes. Button 40.4. And then I think that was it. And that's it. Everyone else has made mistakes. And Skyline's gone out a little bit later than everyone else, so he'll see what he can do. So Charismic strikes first in a 39.6. Yeah, we saw Dufferlump's mistake in Castle section, so he's gone back in the pits and he's back out on an out lap again. He just wants to get a lap on the board. See a lot of traffic ahead of Skyline through this middle sector. They should get out. They should get out the way. Button though, that's right on the racing line, right through Castle. And Skyline's not going to be happy about that. Yeah, it's compromised his exit. That was just wrong timing, really. Through Button. Slow Alfa Romeo pass way off the racing line. It's good from Prost. Let's see what Skyline can do with this lap. So compromise through Castle. He had to back off a little bit. Let's see. So this will be, I think, bank lap for him. Ooh, slightly against the wall. Potentially on that exit as Vinny goes quickest on a 39.4. That's the quickest we've seen this evening. Skyline 40.2. Yeah, he's definitely got more in him. He has set a 39 before, so he'll be going back in the pits, but joins Primus and Prost on that time. Right, let's see, Dufferlump. See if he can equal what he's done last time out. I wonder what he's feeling on this lap, knowing that he made that mistake in Castle. Is he going to be a bit tense through there? We'll soon see. So Vinny currently on pole position ahead of Charismic. So Charismic's now seen that lap and thinking, I need to leak a little bit more. 35.1 from Duffer in the first sector. Nicely through the chicane. Up through turn 7. Don't turn in too early. Nice, just lightly touch the curb. The car turning in very nicely. Now how is he going to be committed through Castle? He is. Definitely not afraid of that mistake that he did earlier. Running it nicely on the exit. And then through the curve straight down to turn... Again, I think this is turn 12. Doesn't take over that curve, but gets it nicely turned in. 15.5, middle sector was the quickest I've seen. It's 15.3, once it's slightly deep into the last corner. This might be a pretty good lap. He's a couple tenths higher or quicker through the middle sector than Charismic. This might be near him, this might go quicker. As Skyline goes second on a 39.5, so splits Charismic and Vinny. What can Dufferlump do? It's 39. 39.6 goes third. 5 thousandths ahead of Charismic. So it was near Charismic, but couldn't get close to Duffer. Not Duffer, Vinny. So Vinny still in that pole position. Can anybody topple the Mercedes? Very close though, near the top. This is anyone's, I think, but who is going to really bring it out of the bag? 15.8 middle sector, so slightly down on Charismix as Kazi goes to 40.4. Primus is starting as 40 swings the Mercedes. Can he get? It'll be interesting if the Mercedes end up on the front row. See what 40 can do. It's not bad, it's a 40.2. Does he have enough time to set another lap? Because still got 3 minutes to go. Let's see. Duffer, I think, he's on a slow lap. He's 9 tenths down, so he'll be back in the pits, I think. Primus is a tenth and a bit up. Who else is in contention? Skyline's going back in. Vinny is on and out, that current pole sitter. Right, so we got Kazi's on a slow lap back in. Fish Sticks is currently 10th at the moment, but he's 3 tenths up first sector, so that's a bit better. Got the alpha male of Prost just coming to the line. Now Fish Sticks takes through Castle, nicely done. Gets the car in, doesn't run the car too far wide on the outside, but that's just his preferred line. So any one of the 4, I think, who is going to hook up that dream lap that everybody thinks about. He sticks 4 tenths up. I think it's anyone over the top 4 really. Can Prost sneak up in there? How is Prost getting on? He is, wow, he's half a second up. So yeah, Prost definitely has the capability getting into the top 4. As Fish Sticks, I just want to see where he goes. 40.7, stays 10th. Improvement though. How's Prost going? Whoa! Left nothing on the left hand side wall as he turned in. Had to adjust his steering at the last second though. Is that going to compromise him? Oh, swings through there. Slightly wide. We're over the curb. This is interesting for Prost because he's already seen his teammate be eliminated. He's a second up though. This is a second would be a 39.2. So this looks a very strong lap from Prost to see how he can finish it off. Kazi has retired. And in 9th place, I think that's the best he can manage. Can Prost get it onto pole position? He can, a 39.1. What a great lap there from Prost. So it takes pole position initially by 3 tenths. Is anybody there? Oh, whoa, Vinny. Vinny trying pushing it. It's raining. It's raining, so as Prost timed this perfectly. It's just starting to rain. And Vinny with a mighty slide, so Vinny's not going to get Prost. Buttons on a slow lap. Yeah, the rain has come down all dramatically. I didn't even notice it. Prost has timed this to perfection. Here comes 40. Can he improve? No, I think that's going to be it. Yeah, because Duffer's in. Buttons on a slow lap. Skyline is on a slow lap as well. So yeah, Prost has got this. I think I'm just trying to find out whether anybody is else on a lap. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, so Prost has taken it. 39.1. Right at the end, literally, and then the rain just came down as soon as he set the lap. So great lap. Yeah, great middle sector I saw. He was a second up on his lap. Sound keeps going for some reason. I don't know why. Easily fixed though. Yeah, great lap, Rebster. From Prost there, and he's already weaving, he already knows. Don't bin it now. I mean, it wouldn't matter, but still. Yeah, very happy from that. He's going to take the line, or... he's going to go to the pits, fair enough. So yeah, Prost takes it. He's in a little bit of wheel spin. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, very, very nice. He'll be joined by Vinny on the front row, which I think that's Vinny's best qualifying, I think, for a while. Yeah, so good from him. Skyline and Button on row 2. So Duffer Lump gets toppled. He ends up 5th. Charismic 6th. Primus 7th. Fordy in 8th. Kazi 9th. And Fish Sticks in the Red Bull 10th. see if Prost would want to join us. Pretty sure I have him on my friends list. There we go. Let's see if he will, because not everyone wants to speak. But there is your top 10. Prost in the Alfa Romeo takes pole position. I think that's his. I think he got pole in Spain as well. And he felt very. Oh, here he is. Hello, Prost. Great lap and great, perfectly timed in the end because the rain came down literally as you set the lap and obviously halted everyone else. You must be very happy with that because that's your first pole. Yeah, second pole, which included Spain, and you said before we went live here you felt very aggrieved about Spain. So I'm guessing this is the beginning of plan to rectify that race.
Well, hopefully. I mean, yeah, it's like my second pole in, and I've been dashboarded. It's my second pole in RSF1. So yeah, I'm just hoping to get off the line properly, get a good start. So, and I've been dashboarded, so I'm on my way back. So I need to jump into my other party.
Okay, no worries. I'll allow you.
Right.
I'll allow you to get sorted.
Right.
Well done.
Thank you very much for the invite.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, a few problems there for Prost. Hopefully he can get back in. Obviously he would take control of his car, and that's going to be difficult to do, but hopefully everything will be okay. Just seeing, I don't see his name on there, but I'm sure everything's going to be alright. But let's get ready for the race, and we're back to sunshine once again. Just trying to think who else. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 12, 13. There's only 13. That's quite a few that's been dashboarded actually, which is worrying. Hopefully they're all able to get back in before we start. All still on the race director, so again I just think they just come back in and then they take control of their car as we go racing. That's going to be quite difficult for guys around them. Let's see, let's hope we have a good race ahead of us. Right. Let's see, 15 viewers so far, which is slightly lower than normal. I'm sure there's a reason for that though, but no problem at all. Engineers, if you are watching, I will be doing obviously by myself, I will be doing a penalty check on lap 20 of this race. So about 6 laps to go. I will do a very quick penalty check unless I have a safety car around that point. Like if I have a safety car lap 18 or 19, then obviously I will do it then. So yeah, any engineers out there, that's when I'll be doing a penalty check. Obviously you understand by myself at this point, so obviously got to do the best I can, and it'll be very, very quick so I don't miss any of the action on board. Obviously if I have a battle which I have to keep on, I will, unfortunately penalties will have to be kept to one side until we have a quiet moment at that point. So just so you're made aware. And let's get started. Raikkonen has readied up. Apparently Source in the chat is trying a weird strategy. I'll be intrigued to see what it is. But again, just keep yourself on the track, Source. Keep your wing intact. A lot of people not getting the choice. Yeah, because if you're trying to get back into the race here, so I think there's 4 at the moment. That's more with this, yeah. Hopefully join back in. Primus is in the pit lane. Okay, what has happened with Primus there? Says to me he's in the pit lane. So, okay, that's a little bit of a worry. So I'm just trying to think who. Yeah, bear with me because there's a few here that aren't in the lobby at the moment. I'm not sure what to do, but Prost will be starting from the lead with Vinny in second, Monster Skyline in third place. They're all here. Buttons. I don't think Button is here. No, Button isn't here either. McGather, who's here and who's not. And then Duff in fifth. So Duff and Prost on the medium tyres. Be good for them to keep kind of in the race, in with the front runners. Then you've got Charismic in sixth. Primus should be starting seventh, but again, not sure what's going on with that. 40 at eighth, Kazi in ninth. Fristix is another one that hasn't taken his car. There's Barry in 11th, Eagle in 12th. Be looking to try and recover from a pretty difficult qualifying session. Not that he's used to. Hope he can keep out of trouble. DPS 13th, Old Manzi 14th. RSF1 Source 15th in the Red Bull, and Unicorn 16th, Raikkonen 17th. Raikkonen, Source, Manzi all on hard tyres, interestingly. Unicorn also, interestingly, on the soft tyres outside the top 10. Let's hope we can get things sorted and ready. Again, I am very concerned that Primus is in the pits at the moment. Well, it says he is. And that's not very good at all. I don't know what's happened with him. Again, hopefully everyone can retake their cars. Go once again as we all start gridding up. 26 laps of this race to go. Again, as far as I'm aware, as far as I've been told with the rules, there are no restarts. So at the moment, I'm just I'm keeping going until someone in the chat says to me, you know, committee-wise, says that there is one. Because there's a few issues here, but let's get ready to go. The show goes on for the time being. And we are just waiting now to get started. Again, there's going to be issues here with the lights. We are just waiting at the moment. We're just waiting for somebody. There is a space there where Primus should be. But again, I don't know whether that's a visual glitch or his car is generally retired. Doesn't normally do that. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. And we are just waiting on somebody, I think. Yes, I don't know whether there are issues or not. Yeah, it won't let you take control until the race starts. Those in the chat that are saying they can't take control, I believe they can't. I believe you can't take control until the race starts. Yeah, I think we are waiting for someone. This is annoying. This is big. Oh, well, we up. Okay. Black screened. Oh, there we go. That was weird. Don't know what's going on. Okay. Started. Oh, there we go. We're underway. Primus is taking them. Sorry, not getting good camera angles here. And there's a pile up there into the first corner. And Fishsticks is off on the first lap, along with Primus. And it's carnage in the first corner. Sorry again for the camera angles there. Got very confused with everything. Primus is stuck at the end of the pit wall. Primus has been disqualified. That is very unfortunate for him. We got a safety car in the first laps. Very, very confusing because I got black screen and then got the most horrible angles into turn 1 and 2. But Fishsticks and Primus are both out of the race, and that's very sad to see. But let's have a look at the position change. So Prost keeps the lead ahead of Vinny and Monster Skyline. So they They kept in their positions. Charisma's up 2 places, I think. Everyone has retaken their car. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with Primus. Very, very weird scenarios. We love this game, don't we? It's wonderful. Again, that's the first time this week they've found anything bigger. Unicorn Hunter up 8 places in the Williams. I am just checking for damage at the moment. DPS is up 4 to 9. Eagle's up to 10, so he's had a good start, as is Raikkonen. Just checking who has damage. Source does. He's up a few places, but he'll be going down. There's more front wing. There, that's gone down. Oh, Manzi as well. There was a big pile-up. There was a big pile-up in the first corner. Not good to see. So a few will be going back into the pit lane now. But very, very confusing. Very confusing scenes. Okay, thanks, Primus. Oh.
Right, hello.
Hello, Primus. Very sad to see you. Very thank you for joining in. I had no idea what was going on in that first few moments.
Legitimately, I went to the toilet. My game crashed. I rejoined the game, but like my car was in the pits. I got to take control, but my gearbox was completely disabled, as in my AI was in 5th. I took control, I couldn't upshift, I couldn't downshift. My car was literally immobilized. I could not do anything there. So I think I would be normally annoyed if I was taken out by like other people's driving, but it's purely a game bug that had ruined my race today. So as much as I'm a bit gutted to not score points with my teammate today, it's literally nothing I could have done there. Even if I got a really good control, I didn't get stuck, I had no gears, so my race would have ended the same way, either way, to be fair.
Yeah, and it's weird. I've not seen that before, and for my view, right, I had several people that couldn't take control. They were obviously ghosting. I saw you in the pits, or it said your car was in the pits, and I wasn't sure whether that was a visual thing or like you were generally in the pits and weren't able to take control. And then when I started, like, I got black screened and saw like the list of people on the right side.
Yeah, it's because of my car. My car was stuck in the pits because I was like, is this for the first time ever I'm going to see in a Formula 1 game where, like, you can start from the pit lane? Because as much as that would have been a real massive, like, Mickey take, I actually would have been extremely, like, impressed to see that they went into that much level of detail, but unfortunately it's not meant to be. But actually, for the first time, I think, ever, this is our first comm session together. Obviously, no quali together, but we've still got this whole race to go.
Yeah, I got black screened and then got the worst camera angles going into turn 1 and 2, so I didn't see what looked like a pile-up. I just saw loads of cars and carbon fiber and stuff, so I didn't get any of like the angles, you know, from outside the car. They're all like very close, so very confusing, but we carry on. So those that pitted, we got Vinny, Charismic, Skyline, 40, Kazi, Source, Old Manzi and Button all are pitted. I'm just going to check who pitted for damage on that, because we can do that.
I'll have a little look, because right now I'm not seeing any warnings on the race director. No, you know, because normally you get a warning for a collision with another driver. But so far, since beginning the Grand Prix, the race leader, Prost, has got no warnings. Neither does Dufferlump. Unicorn Hunter is clear. DPS is clear. Eagle has 2 warnings. Raikkonen is clear. Barry has a warning. Clear on Vinny, clear on Charismic, clear on Skyline, clear on 40, clear on Kazi. Source has an invalidated lap time, but no warnings. Fish Sticks and myself, obviously, we are DNF'd, so that is both of us out of contention. But you've got to watch out for the Alfa Romeo, because one of them has got warnings, and 2 warnings on the first lap. That's like the Eagle has to play it carefully, because any moment he could get a penalty.
8th downwards have all pitted. Mediums and hard tyres. Fordy and Kazi on hards. Can hards go to the end from here, Primus? Do you think they could try it? I know mediums can't.
They pitted on lap 2, so it's going to be extremely hard to say. Unfortunately, I wasn't there for F2 because I had overtime at work, and also I went to go see my nephew because I was waiting on my sister for the news of the birth. Happy birth. Anyways, so I wasn't able to attend F2, so I'm not entirely sure on the tyres and how they can go. But I'm pretty sure hards can go, but they need to nurse them. Would you like to go by the blow-by-blow on the restart, or would you like me? Oh, Kazi!
Oh, Kazi and Sauce. So one thing is getting very claustrophobic. Yeah, that's fine. I'll take it. Prost is waiting very late. He's trying to catch Dufflum off guard, and he has a little bit as they go down into turn 1. Charismic also with a 5-second penalty for collision.
Unicorn Hunter down the inside on Duffer.
This horde of cars go. Oh,
Duffer's
Duffer!
in the wall!
Oh no! He's in the wall. He's back in front of Button. Oh no, was that DPS? I think they both got damaged. So Duffer is in the walls.
Barry's being squeezed. Barry's stuck between Caddy Babes and Sauce. The Alpha Tauri he's got pressure now being applied by Slipping Sauce, or RSF1 Sauce now. He's going round the outside, going down the straight. Slipping Sauce just shuts the door on him. Very good move. But now Manzi is getting in on this action. He's been squeezed into the wall. This is really close racing, and as we can see, Duffalump has now been overtaken by Graded Vinny because the Racing Point's got damage. And look how poor Barry is suffering, because he's now been taken by Kazi, Sauce, Manzi, and now he's got 40 on his tail.
Yeah, I think that was unfortunate for Duffer. Just ran in too far into turn 1. Cold tyres probably and everything else, and Button just had nowhere to go as Duffer bounced off the wall. So last week's winner in the walls, he's still got a long way to go to recover. Fortunately, he's got a lot of things to recover, but Unicorn is putting Prost.
You got to get back on with Unicorn Hunter.
Yeah,
he's taken Duffer back before he hit the wall, and now he's on the gearbox of Prost, and it doesn't look like Unicorn Hunter's actually letting go. He's all over the back of him.
But he's on soft tyres. He's got to pass and overtake Prost. Both could be on a 2-stop strategy. He's at the back. Manzi.
Oh, Manzi and Button. This could be what the damaged cars could be praying for. If they keep spun out for too long, it will trigger a safety car. As much as it's stupid, it could trigger one. So Duffalump's got a bit of work ahead of him, and it looks like DPS Racing has sustained damage as well. They both got a lot of work to do, but the race ain't over yet.
Vinny and Skyliner both have stopped, remember. They're making moves on fresher tyres, I guess. Already up to 4th and 5th. Just got past Raikkonen, who didn't pit on those hard tyres. He's up to 6th for the moment.
Eagle, by the way, P3 from P12. He's made 9 positions.
Yeah, decided not to pit, didn't he?
Fire.
Yeah, decided not to pit, decided to get track position.
So looks like Graded Vinny has caught up. Eagle is struggling by the looks of it, because Graded Vinny had a gap between himself and the Alfa Romeo, and this Mercedes is now bearing down on Eagle, because going through Castle, Vinny just looked that much bit better, but unfortunately got poor traction coming out, so that Merc has fallen back a little bit and now into the clutches of Monster Skyline.
Yeah, Prost, though, I think, is the more comfortable, I'd say, out of the leaders. Because Unicorn, I don't think, has the pace to pass and gap. I think he has the pace to pass, potentially. I don't think he can gap Prost as much as he wants. Says Vinny's in the wall.
Oh, dear!
Big damage for Vinny. Got to slide
and that's
out of
allowed
that
Skyline.
corner. Vinny's back in the pits.
Oh,
so easy to do that corner, Primus, isn't it?
Yeah, just when you thought that Merc was looking very good, contact with the wall there just ends up sending his chances of a possible race win or a podium today down the drain. Meanwhile, people like DPS Racing, Charismix, and Duffalump down at the bottom there, they all had to pit onto the hard tyres. I think it could do 20 laps, but the fact is the guys who pitted on lap 1 onto the hard tyre, they're definitely going to have a much more difficult time with it. But I mean, like people like Raikkonen is sitting so pretty right now because he started on those hards from like back of the grid. He's clawed his way up to P15, and he's like losing a tiny bit of pace. No, actually, no, he's gaining a little bit on Skyline, bit by bit. But actually, no, he's just maintaining the gap. But that's all he needs to do. Just maintain, keep it going, watch the pace behind. Raikkonen could easily, I think he could easily take a podium today if he can keep managing his tyres. Because I'm not going to curse him. It's all a matter of just looking after... Well, kind of, yeah, but he has to just look after the tyres. This track is high in degradation. It's very tight, especially the castle. He needs to just be careful. It's all a war of attrition. It's like Monaco, but with more room.
Yeah. Skyline's got... He's within DRS of Eagle, but he's a bit far back maybe for the move. Eagle seems to be pulling away, actually. Not using overtake, so must be a low win on Eagles, so Skyline's not going to be close enough for a move.
Prost just made a mistake in turn 1 with the back end of the car kicking out.
You cursed him.
Raikkonen's in.
You cursed him.
Has he got damage?
I think he's pitting for damage. You did curse him because there's the front wing coming out.
He must have sustained damage. Oh shoot, he must have hit the wall coming out of the last section.
Oh dear. I'm not laughing because
as I said, if he manages the tyre, I didn't say anything about wing.
Oh, Skyline. Lunge up the inside of Eagle. Sorry, free turn 3. Good move.
That's a good move.
Oh, Raikkonen, he was looking good.
He sustained the wing damage somewhere. I thought he was just going to play it safely with his tyres, but I guess... I think I know what's happened. You know the sharp left-hander before the... pretty much the last corner to the straight, he must have gotten too much speed coming into that initial corner, smashed into the wall, and that's how he sustained damage because it was on his right side. He hit that wall.
Is it just me or is Eagle struggling a little bit with something?
He is. These Alfa Romeos have like extreme pace. Like I've noticed in F4, they're rapid. Like look at Prost, he's in the lead, and like Eagle, he's had great pace, but it looks like Baku just isn't his track. He's struggling. Those mediums just aren't doing him any favours.
So Raikkonen's pitted, and Raikkonen's not out of this. He's not out of this at all because he's come out 11th.
The duffer.
Yeah, he's come out 11th. He's on the verge of points. Mediums to the end. There's unicorns in. Mediums to the end.
Doubt it. I think sort of what he's hoping to do is go for a good mid stint. So he's taking these tyres as long as they can, but kind of praying for a safety car near the end of these tyres' lives. Because if one comes out now, it's going to compromise Raikkonen completely. So he's kind of praying to cut his way through Graded Vinny, Charismix. It looks like Ford is actually serving a 5-second stop and go there for a second.
Vinny's got a run on Charismic, potentially. It'd be a brave move on the outside, though. Charismic giving him room for slight contact.
Charismix hit the wall and it made contact with Graded Vinny, and that's allowed Raikkonen to come into play because Raikkonen's got the Mercedes right on his left side. It looks like Graded Vinny gets some good traction down the straight, DRS enabled. And here we go. Oh, I know what I'm doing, Mr. I know what I'm doing. Mr. Raikkonen goes down the straight, DRS. Down the inside, no, he gets the look. Nope. The Mercedes just seem to have the better traction, but he's not really looking good on those hards. Raikkonen gets another peak. Mercedes shuts the door.
Oh, very deep into the chicane.
Come on, Raikkonen, just keep it going, mate. Just keep the car planted. Keep your head down. Just keep it going, mate. I'm as much as we're rivals in F4. I'm rooting for Raikkonen. I want Raikkonen to do good, because he's a great lad. I've driven with him, against him as a rival in season 1 and 2. Like this man deserves some good results, and I mean it's good to see him on the track, but it's just a shame to see him having a bit of a bad day. But it's just he's got to keep his head down to play it cool.
A long way to go. Still 18 laps. The Unicorn, who was second. Yeah, Unicorn was second.
He's lagging all over the place.
I see Button floating as well. But he swoops past.
Big touch wheels.
Oh, gearbox glitch on Button.
Yeah,
swoops by into
you can
fifth.
hear the screaming Renault engine just. But Unicorn Hunter has moved up into fifth place, has put Button down, but they're both just glitching all over.
DPS
we
retired.
just lost DPS. DPS retired. He was looking good though for some potential points, but now that's moved Raikkonen up into ninth. Sorry, let's say Raikkonen. Can't talk. Raikkonen's moved up to 9th. Dufferlamp's now 10th, so now Dufferlamp's into the points. Charismix has actually just been taken by Raikkonen. He's ghosted.
Hey, he's got a red X on him.
Oh, Charismix is disconnected.
Yeah.
Oh, God. And this is going to play beautifully for Dufferlamp, because that's a position handed to him on a silver platter. Is keep these hearts going. Duffer could take him to the end. The medium runners definitely won't get to the end. Eagles actually kept it really good, by the way, because he may be struggling, but he's not collected that third warning yet, so he's managing.
There is a thing lately which I've noticed is we're not getting all the notification at the bottom of the screen that people have retired or left the session, because I did not see.
No worries,
I've already voted.
No, neither did I.
I've already voted.
Back to the game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Why is it saying I can take control of Charismix's car?
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it, but apparently the game says I can take control of his car. I mean, why? A temporary hass. Oh, Kazzy Babes is in now. I think he sustained damage. He's only done 7 laps on those hits.
I can't.
Yeah, I think
because you were in the
sustained
race.
it.
Because you're in the race,
Yeah.
you can.
Right, so Kazzy Babes has got a 5-second stop-and-go penalty he has to serve, and now he's getting his mediums on, as well as a wing change. So Kazzy Babes has fallen far down the grid, pushes Graded Vinny to 6th, Button to 5th, Duffer to 7th, 4D to 8th, and Charismix up to 9th. This, if you're a Haas driver today, this has gone terrible for you. Charismix is now fallen down the grid
40,
because of that disconnect.
Sorry to cut across you, 40 for Dem 3. Big lunge on Duffer, but gets it. Gets it. Oh, Duffer! That was close. Raikkonen's back in the pits. His race is going from bad to worse.
Don't retire, Raikkonen. I'm rooting for you, buddy.
He's still in the race. It's the most important thing. We've still got 16 laps to go.
Tell you what, if you're Alfa Romeo today, it's looking kind of good. Prost is leading the Grand Prix, and the gap between himself and Monster Skyline is substantial. Skyline looks like he's pushing with all he's got to try and catch Prost, but it's just not working for him. Eagle, he's in third, but he's barely managing. He's struggling like crazy. But yeah, it's hard to say Brundle, to be fair. Waiter, sorry. I'm used to calling you Brundle.
It's fine. It's fine. Skyline is closing the gap down to Prost. Last time I was able to see the intervals because they went. This is another thing they do. It was over 3 seconds. It's now under 3 seconds. It's 2.5 seconds. So he is closing that gap slowly but surely. So Prost is not fully gone and won this race yet. Still 15 laps to go. Late safety car can be can throw this race upside down.
Unicorn Hunter is in some form of like a good position here, because Unicorn Hunter is on 2-lap-old mediums versus Eagle's 10-lap-old medium, so he is looking better in terms of tyre life, but it doesn't look like Unicorn's actually close. Oh no, there you go. He's now slowly closing the gap. It's only bit by bit. It's. Oh, now my interval's disappeared.
Yeah, mine's all gone completely.
So we can only really go by icons. And a battle that's looming is Old Manzi on the back of Barry.
I've got Kazi in the back of them as well.
Oh, Kazi's looking at the back of that Renault. I think Kazi's actually sustained wing damage again. No, he's fine. Sorry. The game looked like he had a missing left end plate, but then... Oh, no, don't go for it, the castle!
Oh, Barry! Oh, no!
That's a virtual safety car!
And Manzi's out as well.
Oh, and Kazi Babes has collected a 5-second time penalty for causing a severe collision with Old Manzi. Oh, Barry broke a little too late going into the castle, and that sent his chances of possibly getting some good points for the AlphaTauri down the drain. So now the only hope in scoring points for AlphaTauri is Raikkonen. Meanwhile, DRS is enabled, and we re-begin. Oh, Eagle pitted!
Yeah, he pitted on the virtual. The two ahead of him had already passed the pit lane, I think, when virtual came out. So he's got a pretty big advantage, actually, over the two ahead.
Yeah. Eagle, because it's like when you're in a normal safety car, it's 30 seconds you make. You have 30 seconds to make a good pit stop before you catch up the car. In a virtual safety car, it's half the time. It's 15 seconds because everyone's limited to a delta. The fact that Eagle has utilised that to his advantage completely is, I actually think that could be a race-winning move.
I thought Old Manzi retired. His car had ghosted, and oh no, he's still going.
I think he might have just not DC'd, but like I think something might have happened to Manzi. But he's not over. He's still going for it. Softs on. So Manzi is doing something back there.
Look at Skyline. After that virtual safety car, he's cut the gap. He's right
I think
within a
Prost
second.
got a very poor launch off the virtual safety car, because look at the speed he's gaining! Going down the straight! Prost is actually getting challenged by Monster Skyline! The Williams is making the move down around the outside, he looks like he'll do into the first corner, but look at the speed Prost is going in, Prost is struggling, and Monster Skyline takes the lead.
Well, Prost started on those mediums, and Monster Skyline has already pitted for a fresh set. Is Prost going to get out ahead of his teammate Eagle?
Is he going to get in front of Unicorn Hunter because he's got the heart on? Unicorn's now approaching turn 1. This is going to be very close. Prost needs to get on the pack now, and Unicorn Hunter just narrowly gets ahead of the Alfa Romeo. Oh, this is not what they needed. They're both on hard tyres, but now they're behind cars that could be detrimental to Alfa Romeo. It's Williams versus Alfa Romeo.
Eagle didn't gain as much advantage as I thought he had. I thought he would potentially overtake. Maybe he was too far back when he...
Well, do remember, he is struggling a little bit with the car, because even on the medium stint, he was doing very good at maintaining a gap, but he can't close it down. He is having a bit of a bad day, which is not going to be good when the fact that he's got Button and both the Mercedes looming behind him.
I think Unicorn Hunter is doing Skyline a little bit of a favour here, do you reckon? Because he's holding Prost
look
back.
At the gap between Unicorn Hunter and Skyline. The gap is 19 seconds. Unicorn just needs to keep Prost back to a point where Skyline could have a free pit stop. I mean, this is beautiful teamwork.
It's not intentional, I don't think, because Unicorn has just pitted. He's not staying out deliberately. This is just his strategy he's trying to play.
He is gaining. Like, working. Unicorn Hunter must be really, really good at the last corner, that last corner before the straight, because in that one moment he just gained 0.3 of a second on Monster Skyline, and it's slowly decreasing as we reach 18.9. No. But Prost has got dirty air on hard tyres on Baku. That's a recipe for disaster if he doesn't keep his head down.
He might have a run here, though.
It does look like it, but Unicorn's weaving.
Nah, just defending on... Went to the inside as if to say... not going on the inside and then back on across the racing line, I think is alright.
It's gone a little bit quiet now.
Yeah, this is the closest battle. Chrismick's in again. I think Chrismick had damage.
And that's good for Raikkonen, because now it's pushed Raikkonen back up into the point-scoring position. I think regardless here, I think we're going to see Raikkonen become our driver of the day, probably by his position. Actually, no, Eagle might become the driver of the day. It all depends on what the game says, because in position changes, Unicorn Hunter's made the most, but oh yeah, he's actually pitted. He could go on for a long while.
It's not what Prost wants.
You just saw that, didn't you? Prost got uncomfortably close to the wall and even touched it. It's quite scary. I'm actually also loving the new livery update. Oh no, we've got a Haas out. It's a Haas in the Cruise Mix. No, it's Kazzy Babes. Kazzy Babes has just crashed in the castle section.
Oh no. Both Haas are in the walls.
Skyline
My
in the
interval's
pit.
gone again.
Looks like the teamwork displayed by the pair of them has brought... Skyline could make it out! Skyline's in the lead still! I think
medium
Skyline's
tyres,
just won this
interestingly.
race. Wait, did he start on those? No, he started on softs.
Yeah, soft, so it's a double medium. Which you can do.
You can take these to the end.
Oh, Chrismick in the castle.
Charismix has done it! Both the Hasses have crashed in the castle.
Yeah, he's just saying in the chat he's got a frame rate issue. And that's not helping him, and I've been in that situation. It's horrible.
So, if anyone's smiling right now, it's the Williams manager, the Williams team owner, because
That'd be camo.
Unicorn Hunter is now playing as the first and last wall of defense for Monster Skyline. Yeah, he's the rear guard. He is the royal guard here, as the Williams driver is holding it off to perfectly let his teammate take the launch away. I mean, just look at the gap already between the pair of them. I mean, he's about to approach that corner where Raikkonen crashed previously, and those two are nearly just arriving.
Oh, Unicorn's in the wall.
Unicorn
Bounce over the wall. It's the opportunity.
Oh! They hit each other!
Oh!
Prost spun!
No!
Oh, that was questionable moves there by Unicorn Hunter.
Oh, that...
Because that was lucky for Prost not to actually sustain any wing damage. The only thing that's happened to Prost is he's lost a couple of seconds worth of time, but Unicorn Hunter, that was very, very questionable moves there. He hit the wall, panicked, and it's okay when you bump wheels because it's racing. Everyone hits wheels. But he made contact with him again going into the corner.
Reminded me of the Vettel Hamilton a few years ago.
Yeah.
Oh.
That does actually remind me of that, because
Prost is not going to be a happy man. I know Prost. He's not going to be very happy with that. He's got to keep his head down.
Prost needs to he needs to keep his head down. In that regard, in a driver's standpoint, with both of us here, we can both agree. If you're driving in Prost's car right now and you had that contact with Unicorn Hunter, you would be fuming right now. Prost, however, is still in a good position. He's gained the position back. He's gained the time immediately to 1.2. He just needs to get his head down.
Unicorn needs to be very careful as well, because Shane saw that, and it's got to be very careful. There'll be a question of how he's going to react again.
Unicorn Hunter's already had a bit of a questionable time today with his connection as well, because he's lagged quite a bit. And then he had an obstruction in the qualifying, and he's hit the wall again, and he sustained damage.
Surely this is it for Prost. Surely Unicorn will be in the pits. Or does he stay out?
This could play beautifully for the pair of the Alfa Romeos, because even though Eagle is struggling like hell on those hards, he's still going to have that ability to take third place when Unicorn Hunter goes in for new tyre and a wing. It looks like Unicorn is not doing it. He's staying. No, he's going in.
He's going in, yeah. Damage done, though.
Prost into second. Eagle to third. So this is Harms Williams in the Constructors' battle now, because this is allowing... Unicorn's now got to get that wing change. He's going to lose out to the McLaren, the Mercs, and possibly Duffalump. He's now out the box. Yeah, he's lost out to Duffalump. Duffalump has taken 7th place, and Unicorn Hunter is now into 8th place. He's got Raikkonen down the back behind him. So Unicorn's not under any pressure anymore.
Total Wolf in the chat. Can't say what I want here. Principal of Alfa Romeo. He's saying he can't say what he wants to say. Oof.
Oh, something's happened. Manty's gone! Manty's gone! That's a safety car. He's on the right side. He's off the racing line.
I mean, safety car would be good.
No, I think it's not. I think it's it's because the car is parked directly on the right-hand side and it's out of the way of the drivers. I think that is purely going to just be a yellow flag, a double yellow. Yep, the car's been cleared away. Yeah. So his car was out of the way and it was in no position to cause any obstruction to any other driver. So obviously that's been taken off the road and we're still going. I'll check the penalties, by the way, on lap 21. And Skyline actually got fastest in the Grand Prix.
Yeah. I think even if Prost had got by Unicorn swiftly, before that happened, I think Skyline's on that strategy now. He's easily safe on those medium tyres. The fact that he pitted under the safety car and the gains that he then made on those tyres has now brought him into a position where he could, control the race. And being on the faster tyre and fresher tyre as well, it's his race to lose now. He's just got to keep his head down and bring it home, really.
He could easily take these tyres all the way to the end because, his teammate... Well, look at Fordy. He's on 10-lap-old mediums. I don't know if Fordy can take his car to the end. But Monster Skyline has to do 8 more laps. And that is easily possible on these tyres. If they're fresh and he didn't touch them in Q2, this man here, this Williams, is going to be our race winner today.
Yeah, pulling away from Prost. Although, to be fair, Prost is ahead of his championship rival, his own teammate Eagle, who's recovered nicely from his qualifying. Got to be said, so far. Still 8 laps left. But as it currently stands, I think Prost would take it. He will be frustrated with what's happened, but I think when he looks back, I think he's gained points on his rival. He's extended the gap over everyone else. His nearest rival, apart from his teammate Duffer, is in 7th at the moment. So,
you got to give Eagle some credit here. He's cut his way through the grid, and he's also not collected that third warning yet.
We've got Vinny on button. Vinny.
Look at that speed! Look at that! The Mercedes go!
Oh, button's in. Button's in.
Button?
Wing damage.
Oh? Maybe.
Revving his gearbox.
He did seem very slow though on the straight.
No, he's just going for softs.
No, he just needed new tyres. So that's Button pitting.
Fastest lap, maybe.
Questionable of how Fordy's now going to cope to the end on those mediums, because I think taking them for 7 more laps is a big ask.
He's going to be under pressure from Duffer behind him.
Yeah, look at Dufferlump. He's already made it to 9/10 of a second.
The only thing I can think from Button, because those hards were fine. 15 laps is fine. My only thought is there was a big gap behind. Maybe he's going for softs and fastest lap. It's my only thought. But
that does seem logical.
He was 5th though, and he's dropped to 8th, so slightly confusing.
Well, gap to leader wise, Fordy's 30 seconds behind. Well, 31 seconds now behind Monster Skyline, and the gap between. Oh God, that's
Christmas dropped it.
Oh, it's Christmas.
Is that safety car? It is. Oh,
that's a safety car. That's a game changer.
Oh no! Skyline's past the pits. Skyline's just past the pit lane. But he is overtaking the safety car. He's overtaking the safety car, so he could still pit and be fine. Prost is pitting, he
Yeah,
has
because
to.
he now has to race to catch up to the pit, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm. Whereas everyone
Okay.
else still might be alright. Still might be alright. You have the gap.
He's following the Delta, and Prost and all that lot. They'll come out. I do think Monster Skyline will still be in the lead. He's had to slow down massively. He's now hit that part of the Delta. You got to watch it. People, yeah, a load of people in the mid are going in. Unicorn Hunter is staying out. He does not need. He does not need to. Unicorn Hunter just jumped to both the. The
Oh
Alfa Romeo.
no!
Oh my
Oh,
God!
no,
Eagles
not
got a
this
penalty. Eagles on a stop and go.
How did he get a stop and go? Oh,
I don't know.
He's covering the stop and go.
It was a failed double stack. It was a failed double stack with the Alfa Romeo.
Very
that
failed.
Hurt them. Yeah, that
Very
hurt them
failed.
massively. It seems the pair of them pitting has killed the team's chances of a double podium entirely.
Oh, Chris Mitt's been dealt a bad hand from Codemasters. A few people have, actually, including yourself. Said the game...
Yeah.
We know it is.
Game broke my gearbox. Like, I was downshifting and upshifting desperately to try and reverse so I can get out slip road, put on some arts, and get myself going again. And I just couldn't go.
According to Chrismic, he was just driving along that it randomly puts him in spectate mode. Then his car goes straight into the wall.
What the hell?
Yeah.
I think this Grand Prix is just bugged. This is the most buggiest F4 Grand Prix I've actually ever seen.
I know, China was worse.
No, F4 was
worse.
Oh, okay, I wasn't there for China.
China was much worse. China had 9 cars going round. So...
Sorry to cut in. Race leader Monster Skyline is going onto the soft compound tyre. His teammate and Prost are way at the back of the straight. Yeah, I think even if they both get a good launch and beat out Unicorn Hunter, the fact that Monster Skyline's got 5 laps to go, he's on soft compound tyres, fresh soft compound tyres. This man is definitely looking good. And now, this is actually played also really well for Graded Vinny. He got dealt a bad hand with that 5-second stop and go back before he got onto his hard tyres. Fresh mediums in P4. He is definitely looking very good. Obviously, Unicorn Hunter, it's hard to say what's going to happen to him later on, because obviously that incident with Prost beforehand definitely probably caught some eyes.
So two things I'm noticing from this safety car restart, or this safety car, right? So obviously it's wiped out Skyline's initial advantage, but because he has his teammate behind, maybe Unicorn's going to do it again. The one person that Prost did not want to see back in front of him is Unicorn Hunter after that. So that could get interesting from a neutral point of view. The other person, Primus, remember Button pitted for softs randomly like a couple laps ago? Look where he is.
Oh
5th.
my God, yeah, this played back good for him. He could get a good P5.
He's lucked in brilliantly there, isn't he? Because I was questioning why he pitted.
We both looked at him like, what are you doing? And
Did he
now
know?
look at him, he's laughing at us. He might have known, someone might have tipped him off.
So he's on softs. In the 3 ahead of him are on mediums. So podium potentially for Button out of nowhere.
I think
penalties?
safety car will be in next lap.
Penalties,
Right,
please, as we got
penalties.
time. Yeah.
Right.
Next lap.
As of lap 21 going on to 22, Monster Skyline has 1 warning. Unicorn Hunter has a warning and an invalidated lap time. Prost has nothing. He is clean. Graded Vinny is clean. RSF1 Button is clean. Eagle has the 2 warnings, so he's still not safe. Duffalump, 1 warning. 40, clean. Raikkonen, clean. Kazzy Babes has a 5-second penalty that he has to serve. 5-second stop and go. That's the collision that he had with Old Manzi, I think.
When did he? Do you know when he got that?
It said it was on. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, he has served. Sorry, yeah, he has served that. Yeah. Slipping Source has got 2 warnings. So 3 warnings. So one of them must have been a collision warning. So no one currently at the moment has collected a 3-second time penalty at all in this Grand Prix.
We're all clean. We're all clean for the first time in ages, I think. I remember. So no confusion where people can finish unless they get more penalties from this point. This is intriguing.
People that that has benefited massively from this safety car, purely from the fact is they can get back to the pack, is Raikkonen, Catty Babes, and Source. All 3 of those guys in 9th, 10th, and 11th have the ability to close the gap, get back to the pack, and hopefully redeem themselves with some points. However, Fordy's now got dark blue behind him and pink in front.
This is going to be an intriguing restart.
It's a good recovery, I'm just going to have to say.
For
Raikkonen, very good recovery after a poor qualifying and a good P9 at the moment. So good recovery from Raikkonen, especially with that wing damage earlier on. Duffalump. I actually have to say Button as well. You know, those 3 have benefited a lot from these virtual/safety cars. As much as Duffer probably would have liked to have made this his 3rd consecutive win, I think he's going to settle for some decent points though. Safety car in. Do you want the honours or?
Yeah, you can take it. You can take it. I'm on board with Prost though because I feel this is where the action might happen because he's got to get past Unicorn. He'll be
Monster Skyline. He's going slow. By. The cars are still behind him. He's still weaving. Unicorn Hunter does want to look like he wants to pass, but he also has to make sure he thinks of the team. Skyline isn't going just yet. Skyline's waiting for it. Skyline's waiting for it. His teammates hit him. Skyline's gone for it. He's activated overtake, so he gets the launch. His teammate is trying to stay with him. We go green flag once again. We go from Monster Skyline, Unicorn Hunter, RS Prost, Graded Vinny, Button, Eagle, Duffalump, 40, Raikkonen, Kazi Babes, and Slipping Swords. Eagle goes
Button
down the inside on Button, and it looks like they both have a little bit of a scrap there. And Source collects the penalty. That's the first 3-second time penalty of the Grand Prix, and it's selected by Slipping Swords. Meanwhile, Duffalump has actually got pushed there. A little nudge by the Mercedes behind him, and that's wing damage for a car behind.
That might be Source.
Who was that collected that damage?
Might have been Source, might have been Kazi, I'm not sure.
No, Source is fine. Raikkonen's okay. Fordy's okay. Oh, Source hit the wall! No, it's 40. It's 40. He's missing a right end plate.
Oh, he's going to be vulnerable. Very vulnerable.
And that's allowing Duffalump, because do remember, Eagle does not like this track. He's struggling like all hell. He's on soft tyres. I don't think it's going to make a real big difference in this case for Eagle. No matter what tyre he's on, he's going to get pressured. This could be what Racing Point needs, because if they finish ahead, well, as much as I want to be doing this, is as long as he finishes in front of one of the Alfa Romeo.
Prost is in the wall.
No!
He smashed into the wall on the right-hand side, and now he's really in trouble. Huge damage right side. Oh, the other race.
Duffalump as well. An Eagle. If you're, oh my God, Alfa Romeo went from so good to so terrible. Alfa Romeo and Racing Point, the 2 championship leading team of the 2 championship leaders. You know, we got Prost leading and his teammate behind him. They are not getting anything. No safety car because it's too late in the Grand Prix. Prost is being pressured now by Graded Vinny.
Raikkonen up to 6.
Raikkonen is 6th!
He's benefiting from this, isn't he? Oh, side by side with 40 though. 40's not letting him go.
He's got the vulnerable 40! The vulnerable broken Mercedes of 40, and the best part is Raikkonen can easily take Prost. As long as Graded Vinny gets no trouble behind Prost, and Prost tries to keep it going, but with that wing damage, because that looks like quite moderate wing damage.
I'm amazed.
Hey, that's orange. That's orange damage. That's not quite red, but that's definitely bad.
Yeah, I'm amazed Prost was actually still moving because how hard he hit that wall. Skyline's gone. He's checked out. He's got the Unicorn holding up this train of now Vinny, Button, because Button's in all this on the fresher, faster tyres of everyone. Still not making inroads yet, but Prost is not giving up on that second place.
It must have been contact with Unicorn Hunter somewhere. These two must have made contact again, or Prost just hit the wall. But he's actually staying
hit the wall by himself.
With Unicorn. Oh, he's hit it again!
Oh. Alright, it was just a late graze. I don't think there was any more damage there. But he's definitely struggling.
Oh no! Prost is struggling to stay up.
Oh, look at the understeer!
Look at it go!
Oh, clipped him! Clipped him on the way through. Just give him
Vinny overtook him and smashed him into the wall. He's now got red damage on the right, he's got orange damage on the right and yellow on the left. Prost has lost everything.
Oh. And he's still got a lap.
In contention.
He's still got a lap to bring the car home as well, and he's going to be seething in that driver's helmet.
He's just trying to minimise the damage right now, as we have only got 11 cars out of these 17. Button's trying to get him moved, but he actually backs off. That's quite clever. But the problem is even though Prost is struggling like all hell, Button needs to make a clever overtake. Oh, Prost hits the wall again. Button's trying to get a look around the outside. The McLaren gets it going, but he goes wide and he conservatively moves out. Oh,
Raikkonen! Look at Raikkonen!
He's
come
so
out of nowhere.
close!
Bear in mind,
Raikkonen
before this race, Raikkonen had no points. He had no points going into this race. I think he's like, I can get more than this. Here we go.
Oh my god, this is such a train, because behind Raikkonen's the damaged 40. He's got Kazi Babes behind him. Source has actually fallen back. Dalfalump is in the final point scoring position, so it's not all too bad, unlike Eagle, who's got nothing at all, and Prost has sustained huge damage. Right now, Alfa Romeo just need to keep this going and take this home, because they could go for whatever Prost can scrape from the bottom of the tin, or go home with nothing at all.
Oh, look at the understeer though. Oh, jeez. It's that corner. It's that corner, because the last lap was where Button had to pull out of it. This might have Raikkonen.
Oh my god, Raikkonen!
Hello.
Double overtake! Double overtake! Double overtake! Around the outside is 3 wide going into the turn 1! And Raikkonen's gonna do it!
Oh no,
and it does it! No, he doesn't!
Button.
Oh,
Button's in deep. Prost retaliates.
Oh.
Prost,
I was looking like a potential.
Oh, this is mental. This is the last lap now.
Button's up into 4th, and Raikkonen can get Prost, but he needs the right opportunity. Look at him, he wants this.
A bit close. Kazi ran the outside of 40.
This. Oh, nice move, Kazi! And 40 hits him. Oh.
This is ridiculous. So Prost is into 4th.
Oh.
Button's in the 4th, sorry.
This is a Grand Prix. Graded Vinny's in 3rd. He managed well on those mediums. Raikkonen wants this going. The race leader, Monster Skyline, is through the 3rd sector. He's made that soft compound tyre go. Meanwhile, Unicorn Hunter behind has done perfectly as a blockade. Graded Vinny, however, has caught up straight away to Unicorn Hunter, but we have to go on board with the race leader now, as he's got one more turn,
see what happens
2
here.
more turns. Just one moment. Just one moment.
Raikkonen.
As Monster Skyline crosses the line and is the Baku, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix winner, back on board with Raikkonen, because it's now on the straight. He's got the overtake.
I'm on board with Vinny. Vinny,
and he's
Vinny
got
on
the
Unicorn.
DRS.
Oh, Unicorn moved. Unicorn squeezed Vinny, but Vinny takes it anyway.
This is a drag race to the end of 5th place. And look at Kazi Babes.
Kazi nicked
Oh
the
my
5th.
god.
Oh my goodness. You're right there.
Beautiful race. That was a 3-wide battle. For 5th place. Graded Vinny up into 2nd place. A Unicorn Hunter is now obviously sustained that damage. Let's have a look at the gap to the leader. So Button was 15 seconds behind him. Unicorn Hunter did have a little bit of a moment though in the qualifying where he did obstruct the car. So, and also the contact they had with Prost earlier on.
We'll
so
leave it. We'll leave it to the stewards as always. But yeah.
Unicorn Hunter. Oh, I just got kicked out. Unicorn Hunter has taken though 3rd place, and if you're gonna have to give, oh my god, I got a cramp in my leg. Oh,
you got excited.
If anyone's, to be fair, when I saw that free wide going on, I was actually literally on. I couldn't sit down.
So you were getting excited over that, and Vinny managed to get Unicorn on the hunt. Unicorn again. Debatable defense on the way to the line, on the stream once again. But Vinny got second anyway.
I was jumping like a kid, excited to see like the idol, and I regret doing that incredibly.
I didn't see Driver of the Day come up.
No, I didn't either. But if I had to say, it would probably have been awarded to Raikkonen as he made 10
or
positions.
Unicorn.
Or Unicorn. Actually, no, it would go to Unicorn. It would go to Unicorn Hunter.
I'll tell you what. I don't think. I don't remember seeing it come up. Did anybody in the chat see it come up on the screen? Because I was just busy dissecting.
I'll invite the top 3 to the pits. Yeah. So it was graded. Vinny got 2nd, wasn't it?
Yes, by 11 thousandths of a second over Unicorn. So, right, results. Monster Skyline with the win. Vinny 2nd, just ahead of Unicorn Hunter in 3rd. So it's a double podium for Williams. Button in 4th. Kazi nicking 5th ahead of Prost and Raikkonen. Prost 6th. Raikkonen picks up his first points of the season in 7th. 48th. Source with his first points in 9th. Eagle managed to recover a point. So in the end, if you look at the championship, Primus, in the end, Prost will be frustrated, but he still gets 6th, and he still will keep his championship lead because both his rivals had a tough race. I think,
sorry if I sound like I'm a groaning old zombie, but from what it looks like, it does kind of help Alfa Romeo with the fact that Prost did stay a little bit more ahead. So I think maybe just narrowly, it's either they've closed the gap a little bit more in the constructors. In terms of the position for the top 3, I don't think it's changed. I think, you've still got Dufferlamp in 3rd, Eagle 2nd, Prost 1st, but it's been a bad day for, all of the Racing Point, all of the Alfa Romeo, quite a few other people, in brutal honesty.
Reminds me of
we lost
Spain.
Unicorn Hunter.
Yeah, lost Unicorn.
Skyline's gone as well. What the hell? No, we got graded Vinny. Blah, 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 blah. Give me a minute, I'll quickly get the others back in. But yeah, Brundle, first time going into a comm session with you. Obviously, he's not under ideal circumstances with my DNF, but obviously, these guys had purely made up for it because I would at the end. Obviously, my leg cramp purely proved it. I couldn't sit down because of how much these guys were fighting.
Yeah. I think we just had an Xbox thing because on mine, people are just jumping back online, so I don't know what's going on. Things going wrong.
I think it's just Xbox.
Just as I crossed the line. As soon as I crossed the line, Xbox went offline. I got kicked out of the lobby, game shut down, signed out of Xbox Live, everything.
Good thing we finished.
Yeah, it happened to me when during the transition to Q3 to the formation lap.
I had that as well.
Yeah, I went to the toilet, and then it kicked me out, and then I was like, I'm in 7th, but my car's in the pits. Anyways, we're wasting time here. How would you like to play this? Brundle, do you want to do the Williams?
Tick the box, everyone, first and foremost. I'll let you do Williams. You can do 3rd and 1st. I'll let you do Williams. I'll do 2nd place, Vinny.
The Mercedes. Oh, it's a Mercedes podium, yeah. Right, Unicorn Hunter. Back of the pack, you're 16th, and it looks like initially from the first safety car going off the line, you benefited hugely. You got up into the top. You held off Prost. And essentially today, you've been a blockade for anyone and bought your teammate the valuable time to make a pit stop, stay ahead of the pack. In terms of team play today, in all of my time in RSF1, I've not seen anyone play team play so perfectly. Obviously, it was a bit gutting that Graded Vinny did catch you at the very end there. But I mean, third place though. I mean, that's better than a kick in the teeth. I imagine you're thrilled with the teamwork and the podium.
God, yeah, I'm absolutely thrilled to start P16 to end up in P3. I thought I'd go for a bit of an aggressive strategy as I started on the softs, just to get, because obviously Baku's there's not really a lot of overtaking places. So I thought from the start I'll try and get some positions, and luckily the safety cars just blessed me. And I think I'm glad, I'm happy. I don't mind missing out on P2. To be honest, I'm just glad I'm on the podium.
But it looks like at the final safety car there, when your teammate was in front of you, he wouldn't go, because obviously you can't go until he goes. But you look like you wanted to pass him. But would you have just stayed behind him? Were you? I mean, if you had the opportunity to fight for the lead there, would you have taken it, or would you have let Skyline stay ahead?
In the moment, I thought I was racing, but on that last breaking point, if there was going to be a crowd, I would have let him go, because obviously he was first the whole race, and I was just more concerned about my position than losing both of ours, to be honest.
Well, you benefited hugely today. Both the Alfa Romeo pretty much have missed out massively today, especially after contact beforehand. And then Prost actually hitting the wall after the restart, so it just sent him down the gutter. But well earned P3, well done. And now I'm handing over to Waiter to interview Vinny. Oh, hang on, you also got driver of the day. So well done on that as well. Brundle? Yeah,
I wasn't sure who... I think maybe it did for me, but I was just busy dissecting what the hell just happened. So... Yeah. Anyway. Congrats, Unicorn. Yes, Williams. Good points. Good points for the pair of you.
I'm joking.
Yes, but yeah, well done on the third place. I believe your first podium since you joined, so well done.
It was, thank you.
Right, so yes, P2, Graded Vinny. Let me have a look at your results. Where are you? There you are, Vinny. Your best result since joining F4. Obviously, you joined in F4 from F3. I think around 3 races ago, was it?
Yeah,
2 races
just
ago.
Before Monaco. Yeah.
Before Monaco, yeah. So, had an interesting time settling in to Tier 4, but this is your best result so far. Take us through, because you just nipped second place off Unicorn Hunter towards the line. I think 11 thousandths in the end. Very well done. Your first podium. Take us through your race, because it's a blur for me. To be honest.
See, to be honest, congrats to Skyline as well, because he was way ahead. But do you know what? The safety cars totally just threw that race off from me, and you got onto the rhythm kind of halfway through the race, and I think I got wing damage at some point, and I had to pit again. Back on, I was going to go to the hards right till the end, but then I pitted again onto the mediums, just to try and get to the end of the race. But yeah, the restart was actually quite good for the top 3-4. I think the top 4 or 5 actually, we all kind of pulled away. And coming down the end, that last straight, I actually thought Unicorn was going to take us both out, and we were going to not finish. So I did get worried, because no disrespect, but he was weaving side to side, so I did get a bit of the fear near the end there. But fair play, we held on. I got the position, but yeah, I mean, it's been hard coming into F4. These first couple of races have been hard for me, but yeah, I'm happy with that. P2, that's good, and congrats to Skyline again, mate.
Cheers, man. Appreciate it.
It's a very hard fought tier F4, isn't it? I think you're just beginning to realise, aren't you? Now settling in. But next time out, Canada, could be just as frantic, just as hectic as that ending of that race. Likelihood of safety cars once again with the walls and everything else. What are your thoughts heading to that track next time out?
To be honest, see, after Baku here, I quite like the next couple of tracks. So, yeah, I quite like the next track, and I like France as well. So the next twos, but yeah, there's a lot of walls that can take you out in this race as well. So Canada, so it could be interesting too.
Yeah. So, but well done, Congrats on your second place, your first podium of the season. Hopefully, speak to you again before the end.
Thanks again, mate. Cheers.
All right, and head us to the winner, the other Williams. Yes.
Whoop, whoop.
Take away, Promise.
Williams.
Right, Monster Skyline. First of all, I have to give you some respect. You capitalised after Prost struggling, as well as RSF1 Eagle. They both were struggling to catch up with you, and with Unicorn Hunter working as practically a blockade, you perfectly got that time to go onto the medium tyres. You fortunately got, you missed the pit wall just as that safety car came out, but it didn't seem like it bothered you because you still got those softs at the end. Your strategy today has been perfectly on point, and the fact that you're standing on the top step today is actually proof of that you called your strategies beautifully. And like I know Brundle's Mike's muted, but he's got a smile on his face. He's not very good at hiding it. He's got one. But that was oh, you're muted. Okay. Still, mate, that was a very good drive. But tell us how it's been for you and your point of view.
It wasn't smooth, mate. It's not smooth as you sound. At the end of when the safety car came out for the first safety car, I actually hit the wall when I was planning on coming in, so I had to go in for a front wing change for the first pit stop to go onto the mediums behind the first safety car. It didn't affect me too much because I was planning to pit anyway, but I lost 2 positions, I think, behind the safety car, just because of the front wing. From there, I'm not sure if you saw the pile up behind the leaders after the first safety car, but I overtook a couple of people from that and then had to get the places back. So by turn 1, I was already down another place or 2 from where I should have been, which was not great. But then, as you say, Unicorn did me an absolute favour. I don't know how he managed to do that sort of teamwork when we'd never even talked before, so that was weird. But yeah, I had good pace, I had good consistency once I got into the mediums. I always planned to go to lap 14, 15, go onto another set of mediums and just drag it out to the end. But when that other safety car came out, I was just like, right, I'll chuck on the softs and hope for the best. But the thing is, when you said about the safety car, I just missed the pit entry. I actually put my car into Rich and overtake down that straight to actually beat the safety car out of the pit lane while being in the red of my Delta. So I had to race the safety car out of the pit lane. So that was not a fun fight. That's the hardest fight I had of the race, I think. I did find it quite easy to maintain pace today, but that safety car nearly cost me dearly. But you're done about with the restart with my teammate looking really aggressive. I waited for him to come alongside me because I knew he was going to try and come alongside me as I was about to launch. So I thought to myself, right, if I just wait for him to come alongside of me and then have to ease off because obviously I was slowing down the pace, and then that's when I put my foot down. So that was on his side a bit of a mistake because I had the pace advantage when I put my foot down because he was just too close to the side of me and cost himself really on that one. But he did look very fighty at the end, and I didn't like it. I was a bit nervous.
Well, you both did good. Williams today in F4 has definitely stepped up the game. It's on pretty much one of the most difficult tracks of the calendar, obviously Monaco being the worst. But today, you both managed to rack in some good points today, not just for the constructors for F4, but the overall team constructors, because a P1 and a P3 is a valuable commodity for the team, So, yeah, well done. That was a very, very nicely earned win there. And what about the next race? Isn't it
Canada?
Canada next. Yeah, how are you feeling for Canada?
Well, I don't mind Canada, but I'm still a bit hesitant over liking it because of a race I had a few years ago where I did a 78 lap race, which was a 100% race. And I did 40 pit stops, all for front wings, so it's a bit of a touchy track. Yeah.
I'm surprised the team didn't go skin.
I'm surprised they brought that many with them, to be honest. I think they ended up with skateboards at the end. They put skateboards under the front wing.
I'm surprised he didn't retire after about like 10. I mean, even after 5, some people are like, oh, that's it.
Well, there's a pile up early on in the race, and there was only like 10 people left from very early on, so I was like, right, if I just stick it out, I'll get points. So I stuck it out, and I was like 8 or 9 laps down, maybe more.
Oh, jeez.
And just stuck with it.
Well, well done on P1 there, and that was a hell of a race, Brundle. And I'm glad I came in when I did. Like, Jesus Christ, that was.
I don't know where to start, really. I mean, it always seems to be F4, doesn't it? That gets the worst luck of what Codemasters decide to dish out, doesn't it? We had Australia, we had China, we had. I swear there was one more before. We haven't had a glitchy race for a while, which is good, but this is the first one in a while. Very unfortunate to those, yourself, Primus, Charismic, Fish Sticks, all those that had difficulties, because obviously you don't want to see it, and again, it was difficulty for me seeing it, so etc. and so on. Very much appreciate you joined. Sad that you did, in the circumstances you did, because I'd rather you carry on racing, and you never know what could have happened in that end of that result, but kind of reminds me of Spain in a way, the result at the end of the day. When the tally and the points get added up, I think this is going to close up even more, because the front three in the championship all had difficult races. The ones behind all had good ones. Skyline with his win has jumped himself right into it.
And fastest lap.
And fastest lap, so that title fight. Yes, you're right in it. Right in it now, so it'll be interesting. A long way to go, so still anything more can happen, but very good stuff. Very entertaining race.
I'm watching it back, for sure.
That was very thrilling, actually. As much as the blood to have finished, that actually watching that race through and commentating with you today, Brundle, that as much as I was a bit bummed losing out, it definitely cheered me up to see such great battling.
Yeah, it was good. You know what sums it up actually the most? I have a cup of tea in my streams. Hold my hand up, happy to admit it. Just helps keep my voice going. It's good for the vocal cords and everything else. I normally drink all of it by the end of qualifying. Basically, there was a little gulp left just now, and it was freezing cold. So that was lovely. But that sums it up, because I completely forgot there was another sort of mouthful left I had. So there you go. I got distracted.
Well, and also I got cramp in the back of my thigh from this race. So I think that completely establishes how entertaining it was.
Yes. So thank you very much, F4. That was the race in Baku. They will be back next time out in Canada for next week. I've been assured by Brutal Reapers he'll be back next week. There was a certain thing that happened, but everything's okay. He's just needed he's holding off his debut to Canada. Let's just say that. So I'm sure he'll be with me next week. Yeah, and that's going to be the next track, the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, the Canadian Grand Prix. And as always, F2 will be kicking us off on Sunday with Primus and Vettel due in the comms box. It's my favourite track, by the way, just saying. Let's see how that goes. Crash on that one, probably. Know my luck. Let's see how that goes. That'll be 8 o'clock on Sunday. Make sure you join us for that. But your top 3, Unicorn Hunter and the Williams, second Grade of Vinny and the Mercedes, Monster Skyline, your winner and first win of the season, by the way, GG, in the Williams. A good day for the Williams team. Primus, thank you very much for joining me in the comms box.
No worries, man. I had fun.
Problems, which are still again, weird. Yeah, I've been RSF1 Waiter. It's been RSF1 Tier 4. Take care, everyone. Good night. See you next time.
Au revoir.